Hello students, welcome to yet another lesson with Mr. Mohana, and in today's lesson we are going to look at the reading task based on the Food Blast textbook. So before we get started, please get your Food Blast textbook. Please turn your Food Blast Class 4 textbook to page 52 here, and today we are going to look at a reading task, Unit 4A. Okay, let us get started forming activity. Okay, look at these two questions here. Do you think teenagers in your country get a good education? And what would you like to learn more about at school? Alright, let's think about the first question. Do you think teenagers in your country get a good education? Okay, you may pause this video and think about this question. What do you think? When we talk about Malaysia, do you think teenagers in our country get good education? If you say yes, you should give me several reasons why. Or if you say no, you should even give me a stronger reason why do you think teenagers in our country do not get a good education. Alright, so what do you think? Now, I'm giving you a sample answer here. Let us see this one. This is my opinion. I think generally education is good. For this reason, if a teenager or any student for that fact shows an interest in learning, he or she will get a good education. However, I personally believe that memorizing facts to pass in exams is not the right way. Students should be taught to think. Okay, so this is my opinion. You may take ideas from my opinion and you can form your own opinion. And you may stop this video or pause this video for a while and try to practice giving your own opinion. Or you may just take note of what I have said just now and you may try practicing it on your own. Alright, now let us look at the second question. What would you like to learn more about at school? What other things you wish school has offered? Think about it. What do you want to learn at school? Probably martial art, probably cooking for boys. Some boys love to cook. What about girls? What would you like to learn in a formal education setting? Would you like dancing to be as part of your formal education instead of being an extracurricular activity? So this is the time for you to express your idea. What would you like to learn more about at school? Okay, so my idea here, I would like to be given the opportunity to learn life skills that could help me deal with problems in the future. Skills like decision-making skills, problem-solving skills, communication skills, and time management skills are, in my opinion, very important and need to be taught and practiced at school. So this is personally what I believe. So if you have any idea of what you would like to learn more about at school, you can put in your idea now and share it with your teacher. Alright? Now let us go to the reading task. Now this is the first part of the reading task. Okay, the topic for the reading task is Q&A education. Okay, Q&A education. So let us look at the reading part 1. Okay, let me read it out for you. This is very unlikely. Teachers are more than just machines that provide learners with information and correct exercises. They show students how to use information, help them with their individual needs and questions, as well as notice if someone is experiencing problems. Computers cannot provide this human and emotional side to learning. Also, students get distracted easily. So if the teacher wasn't there to get them to pay attention, who would? Learners might just remain in front of the screen without getting any work done. However, it is true that as time goes by, we will see more and more learning taking place on computers and teachers will work alongside them. Okay, so this is happening just right now. All of us are locked down at home and most of us are learning through computers. Okay, even me as a teacher, I'm taking part in professional development and so on, all using online. So it requires a lot of self-discipline. So how about you as a student? What do you prefer? Learning with a teacher around you, or on your own using a computer or whatever technology gadget that you have? Think about it. Now, based on this part of the text that we have read, text A, I have two questions that you may want to that I want you to answer. Let us see what is the first question. A. What can teachers offer their students? Okay, based on this text, what do you think teachers can offer to their students? Think of this answer. Okay, the answer is just in the text. You have to think about it. Alright, now my second question is, what will we see in future? What will we see in the future? So what are we seeing in the future? I think towards the end of the text, it has already been mentioned what we will be seeing in future. So it is not difficult for you to get the answer. If you don't get the answer, please read the text again so that you can find the answers. This is to help you to understand the text better. Alright, now let us look at text B. This is a popular belief, especially by those who are trying to prove the existence of psychic powers such as telepathy. They say that as we use only 10% of our brain, we will be capable of incredible things when we actually start using 100%. People probably got this wrong idea from scientific discoveries in the late 19th century that shows that only 10% of our brain is working actively at any one time. However, this does not mean that the remaining 90% is unused. We use every part of our brain, but at different times and in different amounts. The way we use our brain is similar to the way we use different muscles in our body. We do not use every single muscle all at once. So this is the text about the popular belief that we only use 10% of our brains. And there's also belief that if we can use more than 10% of our brain, we can actually achieve a lot of incredible things in the world, which is actually not true. So this text actually explains to us perfectly what are the use of our brain. Okay, how we use our brains at different times and in different amounts. Okay, so I hope you understand this text. Okay, so to ensure that you understand this text, I have two questions here. Let us see what are the questions. Let us see the first question. Okay, the first question. What do some people believe we will be capable of when we start using 100% of our brain? Okay, so the answer is in the text. Okay, look at the text and try to get the answer there. Alright, let us look at the next question. What did scientific discoveries in the late 19th century show? What did scientific discoveries in the late 19th century show? Okay, so you can also get the answer to this question in the text. Okay, I'm not going to give you the answer. I'm letting you to look for the answer. Okay, now let us look at text C. Okay, so this is the part 3 of the text. Okay, let us look at this text about Einstein. No, it's a myth. In fact, he was a very good student. It is true that he failed a university entrance exam when he was 16. However, this was because his education had focused more on science and math, and his knowledge of other subjects wasn't as strong. He failed the non-science part of the exam, but the following year, he passed, although he was a year younger than his fellow students. Nobody knows why this myth exists, but it could be because in his final year, his school reversed the marking system. The highest mark used to be 1, but it became 6. So people looking back over his mark probably thought that Einstein had failed with so many ones. The fact is that Einstein was an outstanding physicist and mathematician. So there's no point in using him as an excuse for not doing your homework. Alright, so I'm sure you understand what it means. So I'm sure you understand very well what the text means here. So Einstein was a very outstanding student, as what we can see here. He's not somebody who failed in the exam and did not do his homework. So there's no reason for you to use him as an excuse for not doing your homework. Bear that in mind. Alright, now let us look some questions, comprehension questions, to check your understanding, okay, or how you have understood the text. Alright, let us look at the first question here. Was Einstein a good student? Okay, you can get the answer on the first line of the text. Okay, now let us look at the second one. When did he pass the university entrance exam? When did he pass the university entrance exam? Do I have another question? Yes, there's another question here. Was he as old as his fellow students? Or was he older? Or was he younger? Think about it. Okay, so I have three questions here. Was Einstein a good student? When did he pass the university entrance exam? And was he as old as his fellow students? Okay, I have three questions here. Okay, think about it and look for the answers. Okay, you may pause this video and look for the answers before we go to the next text. Okay, so this is text D. Let us see what it is about. Well, some people believe so, but others don't. In the UK and USA, a lot of children are educated at home every year. But it is still illegal in certain countries, as many believe that it got a lot of disadvantages. For instance, homeschooled children don't have the opportunity to interact with other children. Supporters of homeschooling say that their children don't actually miss out on anything, as they spend time with their siblings and also take part in different social events where they interact with people of all ages. Homeschooled children are able to work at their own speed and receive more attention than in the classroom. However, homeschooling is not easy on the parents, as it means that either the father or the mother can't work full-time, which can create financial difficulties for many families. It also requires a lot of organization, time and planning by the parents who teach their children. So in the end, it's up to you. So this idea is basically about homeschooling. Okay? Now, how many of you prefer to be homeschooled? And how many of you prefer to go to school? You like the way that it is right now. You prefer to go to school, meet with your friends, meet your teachers, and learn in a classroom environment. Or do you prefer being at home, like what we are being now, right now? You do not get to interact with your friends that much. You are alone most of the time with your siblings, and you are studying using online materials or resources, and your parents are there to guide you. So what do you think? You prefer homeschool or you prefer to go to the real school? Think about it. Now let us look at the questions. Okay, I have 4 questions here. You may pause the video and try to look for the answers to all these questions. The first one, what happens in the UK and in the USA? Okay, you can get the answer in the first line itself. Is homeschooling easy on the parents? Can both parents work full-time if the children are homeschooled? And what does homeschooling require? Okay, I repeat the questions. What happens in the UK and in the USA? Is homeschooling easy on the parents? Can both parents work full-time if their children are homeschooled? And what does homeschooling require? Alright, now let us look at the next stuff. Okay, look at this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4. You are supposed to match them to the text. Okay, for the first one, number 1, is it true that we use only 10% of our brain? So in which text do you think Adrian Lewis from Newcastle can get the answer? I'm sure you know the answer. Yes, it's B. Right? It's B. Okay, because text B is talking about brain functions and the percentage of brain usage. Alright, and the myth about brain. Okay, now, number 2, I think of homeschooling my children in the future. Is it a good idea? Okay, so where do you think Tricia can get her answer? Yes, definitely D. Okay, task 3. I read that by the year 2100, computers will have replaced teachers. Is that true? So which one do you think? Yes, number 3 you match to A, right? Yes. And let us look at number 4. I'm sure you know the answer to number 4 already. Okay, my cousin keeps telling me that Einstein failed at school. Is he right? Okay, the next time your cousin or your friend says that Einstein failed at school, so you know what to say, right? So the answer is C. Okay, now we have done one task. Let us look at another task. Okay, in this task, you are going to look at true or false statements. Okay, there are 9 statements, so we are going to look at the statements and look for the answers. Alright, number 1. According to the text, learners can get individual attention both from teachers and computers. So to answer this question, let us look at A. Okay, let us look at text A. Text A say teachers are more than just machines that provide learners with information and correct exercises. They show students how to use information, help them with their individual needs and questions as well as notice if someone is experiencing problems. Computers cannot provide this human and emotional side to learning. So this part is giving us a clear indication that this text is false, right? So the answer for number 1 is false. Let us look at number 2. Computers can help students who get distracted easily. Are you sure? Let us see here. Computers cannot provide this human and emotional side to learning. Also, students get distracted easily. So if the teacher wasn't there to get them to pay attention, learners might just remain in front of the screen without getting any work done. So this shows that computers cannot help students to pay attention. So the answer for number 2 is F, false. Alright, now look at question 3. Discoveries have shown that people with psychic powers use 100% of their brain. Is there any discovery here? No, there isn't any discovery stating that. The discovery is actually something else, right? So number 3 is false. Alright, let us look at number 4. We don't use all our brain all of the time. Is that true? Let us see whether it's true or false. If it's true, what do you think? Look at the text. Is it true? Look at text B here. Is it true? Yes, it is true. Okay, you look at this part of the text. People probably got this wrong idea from scientific discoveries in the late 19th century that showed that only 10% of our brain is working actively at any one time. However, this does not mean that the remaining 90% is unused. We use every part of our brain, but at different times and in different amounts. Okay, so keep that in mind. Alright, let us look at number 5. Now we are looking at Einstein. Einstein did better in some subjects than he did in others. Is that true? He did better in some subjects than he did in others? Yes, it is true. You see, he failed the non-science part of the exam, right? And this was because his education had focused more on science and math, and his knowledge of other subjects wasn't as strong. So you look at this part of the text. So it proves that number 5 is true. And number 6. In the last year at school where Einstein studied, 6 was considered a good mark. Is that true? The last year. Is that true? Yes, it is true. Okay, you see, in his final year, his school reversed their marking system. The highest mark used to be 1, but it became 6. Okay, this happened on his last year or in the last year. Alright, you see number 6. Alright, now look at number 7. Teaching children at home instead of at school is not possible worldwide. Teaching children at home instead of at school is not possible worldwide. Is it not possible? Is it not possible worldwide? Are you sure it's not possible? Let us see. It is true. Okay, it is not possible worldwide. Okay, it's not every country making it possible. Now, number 8. Supporters of homeschooling believe that homeschooled children socialize as much as non-homeschooled children. Okay, I repeat. Supporters of homeschooling believe that homeschooled children socialize as much as non-homeschooled children. Okay, I remember reading that here. Supporters of homeschooling say that the children don't actually miss out anything as they spend time with their siblings and also take part in different social events where they interact with people of all ages. So number 8, the answer is true. And number 9, homeschooling is a good solution for families who have financial problems. Homeschooling is a good solution for families who have financial problems. Are you sure? You see, homeschooling is not easy on the parents as it means that either the father or the mother can't work full-time, which can create financial difficulties. Okay, so it can actually create financial difficulties. So homeschooling is a good solution for families who have financial problems. It's actually a false statement. Alright, so we have done with the information, gaining information from the text to identify whether the text, the statement given true or false. Now let us move on to the next task. Okay, in this task, you are supposed to complete the sentences with the correct form of words in the bracket. All the missing words are in the text. Okay, you look at the statements, the incompleted statements here. Number 1, you have exist. Number 2, you have support. Number 3, you have discover. Number 4, you have educate. Number 5, you have organize. And number 6, you have mathematics. Number 7, you have word believe. And number 8, you have the word learn. Okay, now you may pause this video, look at the text again, and try to identify the words given in the different form in the text. For example, let me show you an example. Exist can be found here in text B as existence. So that is actually the answer for number 1. Do you believe in the existence of aliens? Right? Now, I know some of you know the answers here already, but what I want you to do is I want you to pause the video and look for the answers in the text. Okay, look for the different form of the word that has been used in the text. Okay, you may start doing now. So, let us look for the word now. Okay, support. Let us find where the word support is. Okay, let us see where the word support is. Okay, supporters of homeschooling is here in text D. Okay, supporters of homeschooling. What about discover? It's here in text B, discoveries. And educate is in text C, education. And what about organize? Organization. Okay, towards the end of text D. What about mathematics? Okay, mathematician here. And what about believe? It's belief. Yeah. And number 8, learn. Learners. So the first sentence, the answer would be existence. What about number 2? It was a popular idea and quickly gained many supporters. Right? And number 3, Louis Pasteur made some important scientific discoveries. Right? And number 4, Do you think the government spends enough money on education? And Mrs. Clark helped us with the organization of the event. Great. And the number 6 is mathematician. Number 7, believe. And number 8, learn. Okay, learners. Okay, so we have got all the answers. Alright, now I'm sure that you have learned a lot from today's lesson. Take a piece of paper, write down 3 things or state 3 things that you have learned through in today's lesson. And probably if you feel like sharing it, you can share it at the comment box. And that is all from me today. I hope this lesson has been very helpful to you to learn English. And till I meet you with another lesson, thank you and bye.